Hey, No Girlfriend Nation. Welcome back to the No Girlfriend podcast. I'm your host, Kris Barnes, and with me, as always, is one of my oldest and dearest friends, Spencer Jabara.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well right now, man. It's been a long week since we last filmed. I've been pretty exhausted as of late, but now that we're here and filming in our lovely East Saga studios, I am pretty much recharged right now. How you doing? How's the work been for you, buddy?
Work has been fine, but they're giving me too many hours, and so now I'm looking to just sleep at the closest possible moment. Anyways, I wanted to rant about a few things, and I know you did as well. Who wants to start? Do you want to start, Kris?
Why don't you start?
All right, because I have a lot to get off my
thanks
chest.
for asking about my day and my week, man.
Well,
Like what I've been
I
up
don't.
to.
I don't ask if I don't care.
Okay, well, whatever. Jeez, so rude. There's no give and take here. Okay, go on.
All right. Don't cry.
I'm trying not to.
Anyways, I have some stuff to rant about. Let's talk about my favorite food on the face of the earth, which is chicken shawarma. All right.
Love me a good chicken shawarma. Cannot live without it.
Yes, but lately, and lately I mean over the past like 2 years, what's bothered me the most is the how people like to overrate particular shawarma joints in our lovely city. Let me get into details, Kris.
City of where? Where are we currently?
Mississauga.
Mississauga.
Outside of Toronto.
Mississauga. In what part of the country? What province?
Mississauga, Ontario.
Ontario. What country?
Canada.
Part of what planet?
Just go away, Kris. All right. So, anyways, let's get into this. Everyone likes to say that the best chicken shawarma joint in Mississauga is home at a place called Osmo's. And I'm here to tell you that if you believe that, you are a worthless human being that's not worth my time.
Whoa, buddy, coming in hot with that one. You're gonna offend at least all three of our listeners with that statement. Why don't you elaborate on that? Come on, what's wrong?
Yeah, this is by far the most overrated shawarma place on the face of the earth, and for so many reasons. Apart from the fact that it, first of all, it doesn't taste that like it's fine. I enjoy it. I'll go if it's there. I'll eat it. It's not bad, but it's like so bland. And like there's other things about the establishment that just make it so much worse. All right, so first of all, this is the worst thing. When you walk in, all right, it's very crammed, at least at the most popular location in Mississauga. Very crammed location. So it's shoulder to shoulder, and you have to go up and place your order. All right, but they have to like, when you place your order, they don't give you an order number like any competent business. They ask for your name, right? They're trying to be like Starbucks of fucking shawarmas. They ask for your name, and you'll give it to them, and then you'll just be sitting and waiting for like 35, sometimes 40 minutes to get your order. And it's like, what other place takes this long, right? You're not at a fine dining restaurant. You're at like a greasy, like rundown shawarma hut. I don't understand why it takes 40 minutes. Even at the busiest of times, it shouldn't take this long. But that's only the first problem, all right? The second problem is like, I didn't even notice this until recently, but they have, on the screen, they have these little flashing images. And one of these images is like this document that
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
One of these images is this document that the opening line is like, "Are you wondering like why we don't wear gloves when we make your food, or like wear like any sort of protection on our hands?" And it's like I didn't notice that at first, and then when I started reading it, I was like, "Oh, now I'm wondering." And the bad thing is, like, you start to read this, and in 5 seconds, it switches to the next image. So all it does is inform you that they're not wearing gloves, and you can't even read the long, rambling explanation, which is going to be total bullshit anyways. But it's just, like, it's so gross, and it like, totally turns me off as soon as I see it, because it's just, like, who even, like, calls himself out like that? Like, wondering why we're not following proper hygiene, like, this is why, and then it flickers to the next image. You don't even get to read why.
They're just being completely candid with you, Spence. They want to like show you, but yeah, we know we're not wearing gloves, but this is why, and change. Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, let me tell you about one of my worst experiences there. This has happened multiple times. I go place my order, like, what's your name? Right, my name's Spencer. So I say, yeah, that's my name. So I'm waiting around, 40 minutes passes by. They start calling a name. This lady's like, Spanker? I swear to God. Spanker. Like, how do you read the name Spencer? I mean, it's a C in it, right? So, but if you don't know how to, like pronounce names, you're gonna say Spenker. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll take it. And then it turns out they screwed up my order anyway. So unless there was someone named Spenker there and I took his order, otherwise they're just illiterate and incompetent. And honestly, it just infuriates me.
I bet Spencer's a nicer guy than you are. It's like Bizarro Spencer. He's happy with his shawarma. He got his food and it's like, oh, wrong order. Okay. And just ate it in a very meek manner.
Do you like Osmos, Kris?
Personally, I think it's like okay. It's definitely. I loved it in high school. In grade 11 and 12, I was like, man, this is like the best food I've ever eaten in my life. I could eat this every day. I could put it into my veins. I loved that so much. But as I went to university, I experienced other shawarma places. I got a car, could drive around to other places too. And like honestly, Osmos is very middle of the pack. Like it's okay. It'll hit the spot like 3 a.m. and I'm starving. But if I'm hungry at like anywhere before midnight, I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like they're open very late. It's like Pizza, where that's like a last resort.
Not
pizza.
Even Pizza is the worst. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, no, it is terrible, right? But it's like it's open at like 2 a.m. Right? So when it's like you're stumbling out of wherever, like some guy's house at that late at night, and you're really hungry, then it's like you could go there if you're feeding for pizza because that's the only place that's open. It's the same thing with Osmos, where they're open so late that if you're craving a shawarma, that's going to be the only place open. That's where I feel like they get a lot of their traffic from. Also, people that are just like they only go there, and then they're like, "Oh, that's the best shawarma." They only go there. That's it. Right? And it's like, what other shawarma place have you gone to? Oh, I went to that other one. Like the other Osmos down the street. It's like, yeah, like if that's all you eat, then you're gonna think that's the best shawarma. But there's like we can break down our favorite shawarma places and our least favorite shawarma places. But Osmos is definitely my least favorite. Like it's just there's the incompetence, and even like just the food in general is just not that appetizing. Like, oh man, I could go on just like such a tangent about it. Like just even seeing these descriptions, like the weirdest sorts of items. They add cheese to something and then they like just change the name. Like it's just like it's like nothing special. It's really just like a bad place to eat. Like I honestly I couldn't harbor more hatred for an establishment than how much
I have a couple Osmos stories to share. One time I went.
Let it out, Kris.
I went to Osmos one night. They have this thing called the Philly chicken stick. It's like a sandwich with like chicken, cheese, kind of like a Philly cheese stick, but chicken. You get it. But I went there and I was like, hey, I'd like to get a Philly chicken stick, and they're like, sorry, we don't do that. We don't do that this time of night. And I'm like, but it's on the menu. And I was like, yeah, we don't do that because people are ordering shawarmas right now, so we want to make the shawarmas. I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, we're only making shawarmas right now. And I was like, fine. So I ordered a shawarma, but I was very upset the entire night. And I felt defeated and like so cheesed. Second story.
I'll rate that story a 3 out of 10, Kris. Please do better than that for this next one, please.
This one's actually way worse. It's a lot more boring. Sorry, people. So I went to Osmos like early in the morning because I had some big event in the morning, and like I was like craving something really filling and like just delicious.
What time was this?
I don't know. It was like 11 a.m.
Oh, it's still lunchtime.
Whatever, yeah.
Okay,
Lunch, brunch, whatever.
Right.
Dinner. So I went there and I was like, hey, got in. I'm like, yo, give me a chicken on the rocks, bros. They gave me chicken on the rocks.
Chicken on the rocks, for those who don't know and are less cultured with the shawarma cuisine, is just like their chicken on rice with the sauce on top. So that's chicken on the rocks. And
yeah.
Just continue, Kris.
And they have the white sauce and the red sauce, you know. Okay, and so I ordered this stuff. The chicken, like, completely burnt. Like, it's kind of I take a bite, literally crunch, and I'm like, man, why is my chicken crunchy? This isn't KFC, it's not Popeyes. It should not be crunchy. I'll take a bite. And I'm kidding you not, people. I ate half of it, and I was like, man, this is so disappointing. I almost cried.
Did you take it home?
Of course I did.
Okay,
of course I did.
Did you eat it later?
Yeah, of course I did. But like, it was still disappointing. And I was lucky I was hungry.
There's been 3 occasions, or maybe 4 occasions, where I'll pick up a shawarma, I'll drive home, which is a 15-minute drive, 10-15-minute drive, get home, bite into it, and find out it's the wrong order, so I have to go back. That has happened so many times. It's like, I don't understand how you can screw up this much and like still like operate the job. Like it's ludicrous, and it's also the frustrating thing about shawarma. It's like you can't like open it up like a burger and like look inside. And go, oh, is this my order?
You do that to burgers? You open it up and look inside.
Well, go into stories about that, but yeah, but it's like, but you can't like if it has a topping on, like you'll be able to see it if you look at the burger, right? But a shawarma, you'd have to like dissect it, right? You can't, but you don't want to take like a bite and then like look in it and then take it home, right? It's just stupid. So now you're just left like disappointed at the end of the day, and you have to waste gas. One time, and by the fourth time, there was a part of me that wanted to literally throw the shawarma in their face, like throw it down on the counter and be like, "Yo, this is the fourth damn time this has happened. I'm so sick of this shit." And get everyone in the store, shoulder to shoulder, everyone's just like, "Oh shit, something's going down." It's so tightly packed. You can't.
Actually happened to me one time.
What?
So there was some buddies at Osmond's, and one of my friends put the wrong order, and he snapped. Like, he's like screaming at them, like, "You gave me the wrong order again. You guys always fucking do this." And like, he's flipping out, and we're all like, "Yo, man, chill. This is just shawarma."
I would have done like a slow clap, like, just like applauded as tears streamed down their face. And honestly, like, again, like, I don't go here often. I only go when it's like last resort, right? Like, because if like how my body works, if it registers that it's like it could be time for a chicken shawarma, like that's just I have to get one. Like there's no like impulse control, sadly, in that area. So when it's 11 o'clock at night, right, and all the sane people are asleep, there are people that are like slaving over a hot stove making a shawarma, and it's just garbage. Like, man, like, and while we're talking about shawarma, I can actually, on a positive note, I want to give a shout out to 3 shawarma joints that I think are quite good in the city of Mississauga as well. One of them is Alf Hana, which is a good joint. It's $10 flat for 2 shawarmas, which is a good deal. There's another one, Pita Boss, which is very trendy. I have my own issues with them, but they make a decent shawarma.
Not fan of Pita Boss.
You didn't like it?
No, I went that one time and I just didn't like it. Like, it tastes kind of funky to me.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan.
Oh, maybe it's an acquired taste, because it was different. I got more used to it.
More like a fine wine, I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The fine wine of shawarma.
And then the last one I like is this place, Pita Grill, which has like this very exotic tasting chicken, and it's just, I mean, it's a little more on the pricey side, but it's good, friendly service. It definitely tastes different. It's a packed shawarma. Like, it's like you're gonna be full. You can't eat. I usually eat 2 shawarmas. Like, a lot of time, I can't finish the second one because it is just very packed. But that's my shout out to my 3 favorite shawarma joints in Mississauga. I don't know if you have any favorites here that you want to shout out.
Favorites. I'm partial towards Laziz. They opened up one in Waterloo, which is the town of our university, Wilfrid Laurier.
It's the same as Osmos, Chris.
It's not the same.
It's the same as Osmos. The same taste.
It's a different taste. It's a different taste. You still have some very poor taste buds, man.
Wow.
For the discerning gentleman, you can taste the difference. Okay, I know.
All right. So what else?
There's one I went to. I can't remember what it's called. So let's say it's Laziz.
Oh, great shout out there, Chris.
I remember I had good food though. So I remember I had good food. And there's also been to other places that were better.
What place is this? Where's the area?
Like, remember in Waterloo, Mosey's?
Mosey's.
Yeah.
Okay, the one in Waterloo. So yeah, I mean that's okay. You know what, Chris? No, fuck Mosey's. All right, because they're also just like a rundown, like, terrible place.
But the food is so good and it's so filling.
It's okay.
It's really good. I love Mosey's. I lived up that. Like, I used to have it like once a week back in university.
No, Hence
the gut.
That's true. No, I ate a lot of Mosey's. That was before I knew what like a good shawarma tasted like. And every podcast, Chris.
2 of 2. Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, what my train of thought? Yeah. So like before I was a shawarma connoisseur. I liked Mosey's in Waterloo, but it was like, then I learned like the chicken. It's very just bland. It's flavorless chicken. And the only thing that flavors it is their garlic sauce, and like they use sriracha hot sauce, and that's it. Right? They have like the full flavor, which is like that, and then they have the other one, which is like the vegetables and stuff in it. But like, I don't know. It's kind of overpriced. The service, once I bought 2 in there in Waterloo as I was driving back to Mississauga. So an hour later, I get home, I sit down, wrong order. Like, imagine that. You just bought 2 shawarmas, and they screwed up the order, and it's an hour drive back. I got so livid.
Did you drive back?
No, I didn't. That would be some dedication. But no, I was just frustrated. And man, like, they screw up. And like, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Chris.
What?
All right, that one time you and I went to Mosey's.
Oh, that one time.
We go to Mosey's.
Man. I don't want to come off of that. Man.
Why?
It's that one time. It's only happened that one time. No. No, man.
We can't.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm too pro Mosey's. I don't want to talk about it. It was one.
One just
one incident,
subtly.
an isolated incident. I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it like off mic. But like,
wow, way to tease the audience there, Chris.
No, I'm not gonna go that far. Moses is a good place, great food. Always love
terrible.
it. Always go
they
back
can't
to
wrap
it.
They can't wrap a shawarma. Every time they try, it just starts popping out the sides, and then they start looking like at the other employees, like, "Oh, what do I do?" And then like, meanwhile, they know totally that you're staring at them through the glass, and they know that they've screwed up. But they just still hand it to you anyways, like it's fine. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna eat it anyways, you animal. Like that's what they think, right? That's their logic, right? That's what they think. But it's just, man, like the terrible. It's just a bad place, man.
It's okay, man. Don't cry. Take it easy. Deep breaths.
These are the issues that keep me up at night.
In through the nose, out through the mouth.
I'm a little stuffy, so I can't. But
okay, well,
thanks for the advice, anyways.
I got some Vicks in my bathroom. If you want to use that, I'll help you clear up the sinuses.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Such a good friend. Anyways, you had something you wanted to rant about, so let's pass it over to you.
Not really a rant, more of a discussion point. I think something I've discussed with my parents pretty often. Like, comes up pretty often when I'm talking to them about university and stuff. I think it's also a really big thing with immigrant parents in general. And I think, or at least my parents it is. Like, my parents seem to put. I think the value of a university education relates to the kind of job you get immediately afterwards, and like what you do with your degree, like immediately afterwards itself. Not so much the whole university experience. So, for example, they're like really into things like business programs. So, if you're going into like finance, accounting, marketing, things that are really more tangible. Like even if you want to go become like a doctor, but let's say if you went to more, they only see the value of, let's say, arts programs such as like philosophy, political science, North American studies, and so on and so forth. They kind of think it's more of like a waste subject. Like, for example, I took a philosophy course in my fourth year because I needed another elective, and they're like, "Why are you doing philosophy? Like, why don't you do like an econ course?" I'm like, "I want to do philosophy. I've never done that before." And just like give me kinds of shit about it, and like my parents always ask, like, one of my friends,
you're gonna end up like Spencer, Chris, taking arts courses.
Actually, no lie. My parents asked me what you're doing after grad, and I was like, he's working at Costco.
Oh,
and then
God.
they're like, fucking like, what? And I was like,
exactly.
I don't know. He's self-actualizing. He's doing what he wants to do.
You can't tell him the, oh man, wow, terrible, Chris. You don't drop it like that. You tell him the truth, which is, yes, I'm working at Costco, but I have other things in the works.
Well, this is the Costco part's the more fun part to say.
Yeah, okay, just see the reactions.
But yeah, what do you think? Like, what do you think?
No, obviously, like, I don't know. Like, I have a very conflicted view, right? Because, like, I am an arts student, and I double majored, both arts majors, right? So political science and North American studies. And, like, I totally understand where your parents are coming from, where it's, like, they want to have, like, they want you to go to university and get, like, you know, quote, like, a real job afterwards, right? Like, high-paying job, like, successful job, like, something you could really make a career for the rest of your life. And that's a totally valid point. Meanwhile, you have these arts programs that are, like, not giving anyone life skills, right? They're just teaching, like, these sorts of philosophies that many I disagree with. And they throw you into the world, and you end up, you know, working at Starbucks or working anywhere. And it's like,
hey, now I don't want to like talk shit about this. People work at Starbucks. Okay. Like, they're an essential service.
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty regularly. Like,
so giving out the cake pops. So that's 20 grand. 20 grand to
shut
hand out
up,
cake pops.
dude.
You have a friend. Okay, just say
don't
right
have
now.
any coffee
Guarantee
anymore.
you have a friend.
Do not have any coffee anymore.
This is exactly. You just have a friend at Starbucks, so that's why you're standing up for them right now. I have friends that work at Starbucks.
I have friends at Starbucks.
Yeah, okay.
Too.
So
I'm just saying, but like, I don't want to shit on them.
Enough. You're not shitting on them. I'm saying, like, this is what happens. Like, a lot of people, they go into these, like, you get a degree in philosophy. It's like, where are you going with that, right? And put your seat down, Chris. Just screw the damn audio up.
Okay.
Anyways, what happens is you go into these programs, and it's like, there's no actual, like, stepping stone to a job. Like, in some cases there are, but in lots of there aren't. So, an example of this is, like, so many people are going to political science, right? And unless you actually go into the political realm afterwards, like, the next step, people just become lawyers, go to law school, because they know, like, you can't really go anywhere with just a political science degree. And, like, it's true, but I think really what it comes down to is, like, a lot of different professors have different philosophies. So people that are teaching, like, business or more of those, you know, hands-on, like, scholarly, I guess, oriented type of courses, they have the idea that you go to university to increase your knowledge so you'll be able to succeed in tougher jobs. Whereas opposed to a lot of people in the arts faculties, they don't view university as like a tool to get a job. They view universities as like some sort of like Deweyite institution where you go and you just open your mind and you can look at the world in a different place. They don't actually have any expectations for you to succeed afterwards, which I think is pretty. I think that's pretty disastrous, and I think
I kind of disagree with you there, Spencer. I don't think just like even though arts courses aren't as, I guess, tailored towards specific jobs in certain fields as like business would be, or even like the sciences. I think like the way of like you develop a certain way of critical thinking from arts courses. You develop research skills, communication skills, all kinds of these soft skills will help you in like in various fields, like regardless of like whether you're actually using.
No,
your
they don't. No, they don't help you in
degree.
various fields though. How like some of these, like what do you like? There's so many different like majors nowadays that are like vegan studies. You know, these sorts of things. Like that's not going to get you anywhere, right? Like you can't.
Well, maybe you wouldn't be like a vegan studyologist, but maybe you would be like.
Okay, obviously,
work
doesn't exist.
I that doesn't
it's
like,
like
not major, but like maybe you can like maybe you can go into research somewhere at something else or work in some kind of like some like a museum or I don't know,
Okay,
some other kind of like feel like. There's all kinds of jobs out
So,
there, man. Like,
how many museums are out there? How many are they actually
I'm not
hiring?
saying just
The amount of people going
museums.
into these goofy ass majors, like everyone goes to law school after, or everyone becomes a teacher, goes to like teachers college because like you can't actually do anything with your degree. Like that just like, opens your mind, quote unquote, and then you actually have to go and get schooled properly, and it's like it's not right. And I think it is like a central issue in our education where it's like we're just pushing people into university. If they can't handle the business aspect, they're gonna naturally go to like the political science realm, and then they won't actually get a high paying job afterwards, so they have to do more schooling. And just be like some people are just like permanent residents at school, right? Like people are just in school for like 8 years, and it's just like they do the regular get the regular bachelor's of arts or something like that, then they master, and they still don't have anything to go into afterwards. So then they go to teachers college, like I said, law school, and it's just all this schooling. It's tons of money. And it's like that's taken out of society's pocket, and it's like, are you actually giving back to society afterwards?
What do you mean
like,
out of society's pocket, though? I mean, people pay tuition here. It's not like
well,
we're
people
normal.
pay, but it's like a lot of it's government funded, or
It is
government picks up the
subsidized very
tab for a lot of
heavily,
people,
yeah.
right? So it's just, and then government funds these universities as well, right?
They do,
How much of the
yeah.
funding is going to these departments that aren't like it's not really feeding the feedback loop, right? It should be it goes to these departments, educates people, then they come and they strengthen the economy and grow the economy, and so it's more money to invest. But like when we're in a situation like this, that doesn't happen. So I understand your parents' point. I do want to think that I am going to do something. You know, I'm in a political science student. I think I am, but I can't disclose that at the moment. But it's just, it's just like it's tough for people to hear because they want to think that they're going to make such a big difference in the world. But it's like when no one's actually hiring you because you have like your degree in lesbian dance theory,
Oh my
and it's
God.
like you're just going to be like.
You're
Out
such
in
an
protesting
asshole.
Trump, like that's gonna be your occupation.
Oh
So,
my
like-
God, relax, Spencer. Like also, honestly, I don't think that the benefit of university comes like solely from just being in your major. I think also some of the experiences you have, so extracurriculars or like getting involved in other things in your university
Yeah,
community.
those are hobbies, Chris. You can
Okay,
pursue
but
hobbies without paying
Yeah,
20
but
grand.
I know that like you can have like certain things you can't really experience unless you go to university, and like certain things you wouldn't be like exposed unless you go to university. So then you can become like
Yes,
more immersed
okay,
in
university
that.
is an experience, sure, but it's like you don't come to the taxpayer and expect the government to give you money just so you can experience college life. Like, give me a break. Like that doesn't actually benefit anybody.
Okay, relax.
Pay on your own dime.
You're
If you wanna
acting
do
like
that.
people like borrowing all the money from like the government to go to university, man. Like,
People
yeah,
take
people-
large sums of money, and the government subsidizes the universities as well, right? So it's like whether you take money from the government or not personally, right? The government has to subsidize all these faculties, right? All these universities have budgets,
this is
right?
true.
So it's just like, man, it frustrates me, right? Like we're trying to make it. The worst thing is, like on the surface, this sounds like a great idea, right? Where they want to make it free tuition, quote unquote, free tuition, right? But the problem with that is that like it's going to be even more cluttered at all of these schools, right? And then when everyone has a political science degree, that means it's all devalued, right? Like it's not as valuable an asset anymore if everyone else has it. So you're just throwing money down the toilet, right? And it's like, who's gonna? Back in the day, if you went to university, you were guaranteed like someone. Oh wow, you have university education. Okay, here's the job. Right now, it's like, all right, you have university education. So does this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Right? It's just it lowers everyone. So, like I totally see where your parents are. I don't think your parents go that far. What they're saying, they're being very specific in terms of like what type of education you need. But I totally stand by their point, and I think it's a valid point to make. And you're actually right that a lot of like immigrant parents that are here, they actually have proper expectations for their kid that they're gonna get an education and become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. Whereas opposed to a lot of like people who aren't, they just say, oh, just go to school, have fun and follow your dream. Like there's no real plan, and they're gonna fund people going into philosophy or psychology or like these sorts of or political science.
Hey, why you hate on psychology, man?
Because how many psychologists do we need? Like there's
a bunch.
Kris, there's so many people with psychology degrees that don't pursue psychology. Again, they just go to law school, right? Become teachers, right? End up in middle management somewhere. Like it's just, man, like that's my rant, anyways. I know I've been talking your ear off here, but I mean that's just the truth of the situation. Like, what can I say? Rebuttal?
I still think you're being pretty biased, man. Like
bias? I have the bias in favor, but I got educated in the arts. Right? If anything, I should be like, no, man, arts is great.
Yeah, and I got educated in business. I should be like, yo, man, be business.
Well, business is good. It's led to your success in your own personal life, right? Like, so...
Well, that's one thing. It's like the be-all, end-all, though. I think I've come to university and, like, seeing all these different, like, areas, and, like, it kind of really helped me hone in on what exactly I wanted to do, specifically. I think the biggest thing was actually the co-op. I think that was, like, the biggest things that really helped me.
Right, but I mean, the co-op experience in business is pretty big, right? The co-op opportunities in arts aren't that big.
But they're still out there.
They're still out there. But again, like, lots of them are very specific jobs. Like, how many of these people are actually going to be professors? There's only a limited number of professors, like in Canada, in Ontario, right? Like, so most of them aren't going to be professors. Most of them aren't going to, run museums. Most of them aren't going to become these scholars and like scientists, right? Like this, like social scientists. It's not going to happen. Most of them are just going to get lower paying jobs, middle paying jobs, which they could have gotten anyways. Right, and meanwhile, they're just going to school to get educated in some of the most radical fields of philosophy I've ever seen. It's a waste of time. Meanwhile, it's like we need more people in college actually doing the hands-on work.
I do agree with you. I feel like a lot of people kind of shit on college. I think it's just like
it's totally stigmatized.
But I do believe college actually is very beneficial to society. They have a lot of awesome programs out there, and a lot of awesome skills.
Yeah, it's not lesser. It's just different.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
same with skill trades. I don't think it's lesser. I think it's just different. Like you can make a lot of money as an electrician, a plumber.
Yeah, it's just like exactly. You make a lot of money. And the reason you make a lot of money is because there's not enough people out there doing it. The reason not enough people out there doing it is because everyone's going to university, right? It's just like this kind of like elitism that people have, where it's like you have to go to university, even if my kid's not suited for university, because everyone thinks their kid's suited for university, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it's like have to go to university, no matter what they do, doesn't matter what they study, they have to go to university. They can't go to college, or they can't like not have any education. And it just really stigmatizes people that are going into those other fields. Right? Some people tell me like, what do you feel are you in college? They'll be like, air duct repair or something like that. And it's like they say that and they know it's how it sounds, right? And it's like I feel bad because it's like they should be proud of their work because they're doing something that like not a lot of people are doing. And it's like it's something they should be very happy about, but like they're not because we just kind of have this environment where we're forcing people into university, no matter what the cost. And it's like
I agree with you. Like I had some friends who want to pursue the culinary arts, and so certain college programs suited towards that, they feel kind of like awkward segment to people because it's not really like a mainstream program. It's not something that's gonna like, oh, you want to be a cook? That's
exactly.
Fucking weird. You want to be a fucking lawyer or a investment banker.
Yeah, no, exactly, right? It's a sad state we have, and so, I think we have to eliminate the stigma and those levels of education. I think
I totally agree with you down there, Spencer.
Yeah, we also have to make sure people are going into fields that they're suited for, right? Some people, if they're not suited for university, right, then sorry, try something in college, right?
Well, what do you mean, like suited for? Like, how can you tell someone if someone's suited for university?
Well, you can look
quote unquote.
Well, if you're going, you have to look at like grades, right, and see like admission standards, and like if you have to go into a serious field, right, you have to go into something that will lead to a job, and it's like a lot of these places aren't like we already established, right? Don't like a lot of people view like the university is there for me, right? It's like I don't know about that. I think it's more like we're in a very joined society, right? We all have to pitch in to try and help our country succeed, help our economy grow. And I feel like the university is there to help you, but you should also be here to help society and try and, contribute to the common good of society instead of just kind of like leeching off taxpayer dollars.
But like, think about the person. Like, let's say you're 17, 18. You just left grade 12, and he's like, or like you're in like the January of your grade 12 year. You don't know what exactly you want to do. You don't know if you want to go into a skill trade. You don't know if you want to go to college. You don't want to go to university. Like, you hear your parents say go to university, so you apply to like general arts or whatever at some university, and like you go. Like, you're saying people shouldn't be going to university because they don't know what they want to do. So
Actually, that's exactly what I'm saying. Don't take a year off. Do something. Don't have us pay for something that like if you don't even know what you're doing. That's just irresponsible.
I don't think it's irresponsible.
When you're talking, like, you're taking money out of people's pockets, and you don't even know what you're doing with it. You don't even have like a cause for it, right? Like, it's one thing if you were like, no, like I have this. I want to become a politician, and I'm going to work my ass off and become that, and try and help society. Then go for it. Like, that's what university's there for. But don't be like, oh, I kind of like movies. I'm going to study film and like critique that. Like, it's like what are you going to do with that, right? Everyone's going to be a film critic. Right, like give me.
I'm sure there are other fields. Like, I'm not like well versed enough to know what fields there are, but I'm sure there are tons of things you can do.
It's funny, Chris. This is hilarious. Like,
what?
When I speak generally about useless fields, like, yeah, man, yeah. Well, then I start naming them. It's like, well, I have friends in those fields. I can't agree with you.
Okay. I'm saying you being extremely, say, like lesbian dance theory or vegan sociology or whatever. Like, I think you're being extreme there. I'm calling you out for that. I'm also saying,
obviously it was, or fictitious, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, where it's
fictitious.
Like, yes, very fictitious. It's like there are goofy majors.
I can't really say if a certain field is goofy though. I mean, like, so you don't understand it as well. You think it's goofy? I don't think it's goofy.
I swear to God, I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. There was a course that you could take.
A Tolkien course?
No.
The Harry Potter course?
No. Like, there was a course you could take at our university, Wilfrid Laurier University, where it was like
greatest school ever.
It's called like
Go Golden Hawks.
Burritos, Batistas.
Okay, that's
and
way.
And borders, burritos, and Batistas. Something like that. It was in my faculty, the North American Studies faculty. Yes, it made it a first year course. It was a new course. It made it a first year course. I was already, like, just discussing, like, I guess border relations. I don't know. I didn't take the course, but I'm saying it's like looking at some of the stuff. It's just like, come on, guys. All right, this is not academia. All right, or this is like far from what academia was intended for.
Okay, that's not. We don't know what the course is about. You can't really just judge it.
Okay, well, I know the course was about border. It's just studying the border, right? That's what it was, right? And that's what North American Studies, that whole thing was about, right? So that's what I majored in, studying border relations. And like, come on, like,
it could be an interesting course. You don't know that for a fact, though. Also, to counter your point, I had someone tell me back when I was in the second year of university that like, business shouldn't be in university because like it's not giving you the same kind of skill sets you get in an arts program, so this doesn't involve that kind of deeper thinking. But I counted that, maybe in the first couple of years it's a lot more specialized, a lot more kind of like learn this, do it on the exam. But as you kind of go up in business programs, you do more cases, you do a lot more high level thinking. Yeah, that kind of, you get that like.
No, I agree with you. And you know what? I call bullshit on whoever told you that because first year, like political science, the same thing. Like, who are the leaders of this country? What are these laws? What is this bill? Right? Like, what is the detail? Like, it's not critical thinking. I actually did really poorly early on because it was more like that sort of just like know like the specifics of this bill or like of this geographical location. But once it became more open and more discussion driven. I did actually like top my class like way better.
Spencer, speaking of a policy, remember first year poli sci PO one time? You remember the?
You've never been so out of place in your life, Chris.
I got like a B in that course actually. Yeah, like it wasn't that bad. You remember the Coney guy?
Oh. That's a story for another time.
Don't tell it now, man. That's a funny story.
Okay, what was it, like 2011 or 2012? 2012.
It was
2012. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
So it was Coney, right? Yeah. So this everyone remembers that Coney 2012 thing that went viral. Whatever, it was like stupid, like BS at the end or whatever. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's sharing it and like patting themselves on the back, like sharing this thing. I guarantee they didn't even watch the whole thing. They just shared it because everyone else was sharing it.
Yeah, man. It blew up on my Facebook feed that one day. Like, it was ridiculous everywhere. And
as soon as like I saw like people who literally know nothing about anything like sharing it, like so inspirational, so insane. It's like, hey, not watching this.
You didn't watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. Of course I didn't watch it. I got like,
I was moved, but I didn't share it.
I got like the highlight reel of what it was about. But anyway, so Kris and I are in this class. We're in this tutorial, right, which is like a smaller classroom discussing some of the readings. This is like 3 weeks after all that stuff. Let's talk about foreign policy. I'm killing it as expected.
And I'm getting a solid 0 to 10 speaking tutorial. I was kind of showing
the TA is only picking
me.
The TA is only picking like the one attractive girl in the class,
as usual. Yeah. Fuck that guy. He's so sexist.
Anyways, so we're like giving our points, and then this one guy says like, "Oh well, I don't know if anyone's been seeing this, but it's I heard about this Cody 2012 thing," and literally everyone in the class just like, like we almost made it through the class. It was like 45 minutes in or 40 minutes in, and then you have to bring it up, and it's like everyone's just like, "Yo, oh my god!"
Like a group groan. It was hilarious.
The
like,
TA was like smirking. He's like, "Oh, here we go down the rabbit hole of like just YouTube videos," and it's just, man, that was hilarious. It's like you could tell that guy like. His depth of knowledge of political science is literally just what he sees on his Facebook feed, right? Like,
but then again, he was a first year student, so.
Here's an example, right? I will definitely won't name names here. All right, I was in my 4th year political science seminar, right? So you'd think like in this environment, people would be a little more, like open and like knowledgeable and understanding, like just like understand more how the world works. Mm-hmm. So we had this one guy. I was sitting next to him. And he shared this thing on Facebook, this article about Obama and China, like, reaching this climate change agreement or whatever, right? Yeah. And he wrote, like, the caption. Like, he wrote above, he's like, historic. And it's, like, the pictures, like, Obama shaking hands with whoever the leader of China is. And it's like, he was like, this is, like, such a fantastic moment in history. And we get to the class, and he brings us up to the prof, and the prof's like, yeah, well, these things, they always reach these things, they never actually go anywhere. And he was just like, he was immediately just shot down, like, all of his hopes just collapsed. And just like some comment, like just basic critical thinking that you think you would have in a 4th year course, right? It's like, there's a lot of these things that are done for showmanship, like to be able to show to the people back home that, yeah, I'm fighting something. But it's like, China will agree to tons of things. It doesn't mean they're actually going to follow through with them. And when there's no actual sanctions or any sort of penalty to not follow through these things, then a lot of it is just to appease certain people. It's not actually going to become anything. So it's like this is just an example of someone who, joined this major. He's like, I kind of like politics. And like by the end of it, he's like just as clueless going in as he was coming out. And
is this person actually pretty clueless? Like,
yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I have stories, Kris.
Is this somebody I know?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay, let's talk.
Twice in the
Sorry.
Kris has gas problems, guys.
Yeah. Stop talking shit about my gas problems, bro. I had Wendy's just so recently.
I had Wendy's. You hear me burping?
Oh, good point. I'm a lot of water too. That really helps with it. Yeah, remember we took that course called Evil and Symbols back in 1st year?
Oh my god, the worst course. I
did really well in that course. I liked it.
You did well. I think I did pretty average in that course. I didn't do any of the readings. I was just like riding your coattails all the time. Yeah, this course was so bad. Like, it was terribly boring.
It was basically a study of evil in its various forms. And
no, Kris. No, it wasn't various. There were 2 forms. There's only 2 forms in this class, right? Half the entire class. Like for half this, like how many weeks? 8 weeks or whatever it was.
12 weeks.
It was 12-week course, right? Yeah, so 7 or 8 weeks was just like colonialism. That's one evil. The second evil was like genocide, which genocide is actually like considered like written as like one of like the universal evils and that stuff. But it's like you think in something called evil and its symbols, we would talk about a broad spectrum. Right, it was just colonialism.
We had that symbols book, all the different like symbols. Of
I kept that book.
Me too. My book's like pretty nearby. Actually, I think it's somewhere in the East Saga Studios.
But anyways, yeah, it's just like, and the prof, she was so nice, but she was so terribly boring and so biased. It was just like such a slog to get through.
I skipped that course regularly.
Yeah, he did. I'd go. I'd be like, I get to hang out with Kris today in class. Get there. Oh, I'm not showing up. It's like shit. Now I'm just here for like an hour. What is it? 2.5 hours?
It was like an hour 15 minutes.
An hour 50,
we had a tutorial too.
Yeah, it was. Oh man.
Like, I remember one time I was leaving a bit of the business building to go back to my residence, and I didn't want to go to the course, and I ran into you, and I was like, "Crap!" He made me go to the class.
Yeah, there was no way, dude. I hated suffering through that.
Oh
course.
My god, yeah. Near the end, there's like 10 of us in this lecture hall.
Dude, it's just strat. Just like honestly, like you'd have more luck like staffing the class with like homeless people off the street than the actual like enrolled students. Like no one showed up. The only draw was that there's a Tim Hortons outside of the class. That's the only reason. Like people would show up.
There? Tim Hortons closed down. The one by that lecture hall.
Really?
Yeah, man. Things changing a lot these days.
Anyways, but that was that. It's just like we have a lot of university stories overall, but
we'll share some more another time, another podcast. But so I guess final thoughts on that whole like university, the worth of it thing. What do you think?
No, I think if you're serious and you do have strong aspirations, it's definitely worth it to go. Don't go because you hear it's a fun party time, like don't. Right? Because that's not just like dumb, it's genuinely immoral. And it's not good. And like I said, I kind of agree with your parents in a lot of ways on this. Honestly. And one more closing thought. Yeah, like stop pretending Osmos is like that great. Like it's not. It really isn't. So you have to expand your tastes. Anyways, that's my
I respect your opinion on the matter of university, but I personally think the complete opposite. I think like even if you aren't 100% sure what you want to go into, what you want to do, you should definitely at least
then pay with your own money. Pay with your own money.
Oh my god!
Don't
don't cut me off. I'm speaking and cut you off.
All right, I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, so definitely, if you feel like you want to go, but you're not too sure what you want to go into, go try it out, see what you're into, see what you like, see what you don't like, try clubs, try whatever. But I just want to say that if you feel that university isn't for you, don't feel pressured into sticking around, just kind of like slogging through it to get your degree. Just like cut, like leave, do what you really want to do, stay at home, work for a year or two, travel, just do what you want to do, figure out how you want to live your life, but don't feel pressured to do anything you don't want to do.
I'm biting my tongue so hard here, Chris, but I'll let it go.
Okay, well, whatever, man. This is my part to speak uninterrupted, so you can shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Yeah,
nothing to say after that.
Yeah.
You feel brave?
I do feel brave.
All right,
actually,
well, we're going to end this now so I can put someone in a chokehold. But anyways, all right, guys.
Wait.
You want to have your little slogan at the end?
Actually, I want to do a little shout out. So, shout out again to our girl Chelsea for designing the picture for our podcast. Again, it's pretty beautiful. I love it. What's her Instagram name again?
It'd make me like Chelsea Charles. That's her name, but it's Chelsea Charles without the vowels, and I'm not spelling it out. Chelsea Charles without the vowels.
So it's CHLSCHRLS. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that is her Instagram. She's a lot of great stuff on there. I mean, her art is like literally mind blowing. Like, and I do mean literally. My mind was blown actually seeing what we had. And also, if you're out there and you're doing your own thing like we are. Because like we were bored one day, trying to make a podcast. If you have your own thing, if you have a blog, a podcast, starting your own little hustle on the side, email us at nogirlfriendpodcast@gmail.com. We'll like shout you out on the pod if we like your idea. So yeah, again, that's nogirlfriendpodcast@gmail.com. Give us your emails and yeah, we'll respond to them and shit.
All right, see you next time, guys. Chris, do your little slogan.
Stay single and stay hungry. Later.